Hello and welcome to Moementum channel, where we share with you educational videos on self-help, investing, and personal finances. In this video, I'll be sharing with you some of the best semiconductor stocks to buy. Specifically, I'll be looking at stocks of Nvidia, AMD, and Skyworks Solutions and look at them from the growth strategy perspective. I've done a lot of research in compiling this video, and I sincerely hope that you will benefit from watching it. So stay tuned and enjoy the video. And if you stick around until the end of this video, I'll be sharing with you which one of these stocks I currently own and how they are performing in my portfolio. Okay, before we start our comparison, it's a good idea to put things into perspective by looking at the market capitalization of these three stocks. As you can see here, Skyworks Solutions is in fact the smallest of the lot in terms of the market cap with only 18 billion valuation. It is then followed by AMD with $64 billion valuation, and that makes AMD 256% more expensive and larger in comparison to Skyworks Solutions. The greatest of all of these in terms of market cap would be Nvidia, which is currently valued at 209 billion. That makes it roughly 10 times more valuable in comparison with Skyworks Solutions. For the first criteria, we will be looking at the earning per share surprise versus the estimates provided by experts for each quarterly earning. The first company we'll be looking at is Nvidia, and as we can see over the past 4 quarters, it's been capable of beating the experts' estimates on all of the occasions. AMD, on the other hand, has been successful in beating the earning per share estimates only in one of the occasions, and that occurred in the 4th quarter of 2019. Lastly, Skyworks Solutions has also been capable of beating experts' earning per share estimates on all of the past 4 quarterly estimates provided. With 4 positive surprises, Nvidia and Skyworks Solutions will actually get 1 point in this round, and that would put them at the top of the leaderboard so far in the competition. Next, we'll be looking at the 10-year compounded annualized growth rates in terms of revenue for the 3 companies. As you can see, Skyworks Solutions has been the most successful company here with 13.69% annualized growth. This is then followed by 12.62% for Nvidia, and AMD is the worst performing of the 3 in terms of the annualized revenue growth. This would mean Skyworks Solutions will get a point for this round, and that would put it on the top of the leaderboard with 2 points, followed by Nvidia. The next criteria we'll be looking at is the tangible book value, and again here we are looking at the 10-year compounded annualized growth rates. As you can see, the best performing in this category is in fact AMD with 20.61%, and it is followed by Nvidia and Skyworks Solutions respectively. That will mean AMD will actually get a point in this round, and the total of AMD so far would be 1. Still, Skyworks Solutions is leading the table. Next, we'll be looking at the gross profit margin trailing 12 month, and as you can see here, Nvidia is clearly the winner in this category with 61.99%. It is followed by Skyworks Solutions and AMD respectively. So 1 point for Nvidia in this round, making it a total of 2 points for Nvidia, 2 points for Skyworks Solutions, and they are both being followed by AMD with only 1 point at this stage. The next category which we'll be looking at would be the net income margin trailing 12 month, and again Nvidia marginally wins this with 25.61, but I'm still giving 1 point to Skyworks Solution because it still has a net income margin trailing 12 months of 24.35, which is very close to Nvidia. AMD obviously is falling short of the other two in this category. So 1 point each for Nvidia and Skyworks Solution, bringing their total to 3 each. The next category here will be price to sales trailing 12 months, and obviously the higher this figure, the worse it would be for us in terms of the valuation of these companies. And as you can see, the lowest in terms of price to sales trailing 12 months is actually Skyworks Solution, meaning that it has a much better valuation in comparison with the other two companies. So 1 point here for a Skyworks Solution, and again Skyworks Solution is taking the lead from the other two companies. The other criteria we'll be looking at would be price divided by the cash flow, again trailing 12 months. And as I said before, here ideally you will be looking at a lower figure, because that would mean that in comparison to the cash flow the company is generating, it is still reasonably valued and is not too expensive. The winner here would still be Skyworks Solution, as it's got the lowest figure among the lot with only 13.58. 1 point again for Skyworks Solution, adding its total points to 5. It's clearly leading the competition at this stage. Now, next we looked at the 10-year total return. So what this means is that what if you had purchased one of these stocks maybe 10 years ago and just hold on to that, and the total return obviously would include both the growth in terms of the price as well as any gain you would have achieved through dividend yields. Now, as you can see, over the past 10 years, Nvidia clearly has been the winner in this category with more than 2,700% total return, which is massive, and it's really something impressive. But if you look at the other two companies, they have also had a quite decent 10-year total return. For example, you could see that Skyworks Solution has had more than 600% return, but obviously in comparison Nvidia is clearly the winner again and gets the point in this category. That would bring its total points to 4, which at this stage is very closely following Skyworks Solution, which is at the lead by 5 points so far. The next category we are looking at would be the 5-year total return. And the reason why I'm actually looking at the other time frames is that you want the stock to be consistently outperforming the other competitors, both in the longer term, in the medium term, and in the shorter term. And here you can still see that while Nvidia has been performing quite decently, but the winner in this category in fact is AMD with more than 2,230% growth in terms of the total return. So for this category, AMD takes the lead, gets the 1 point, and that brings its total point to only 2. Next, we'll be looking at the 3-year total return. Here, like the previous criteria, AMD still is taking the lead with 374% growth. In other words, if you had purchased AMD 3 years ago and hold on to that, you would have had more than 370% growth in terms of the price growth as well as the dividend yield that you would have achieved by holding on to that stock. 1 point for AMD, bringing its total to 3. Still, Skyworks Solution is leading the pack with 5 points. Next, we have been looking at the overall earning per share beats during the last 2 years. That would mean that we will be looking at the 8 quarters in total. Now, as you can see, Skyworks Solution has been performing tremendously. 8 beats in the past 8 quarters, which is amazing. But then again, you could also argue that Nvidia has been performing rather decently as well, with 7 beats out of the 8 possible quarterly beats. AMD has also performed decently, with 5 times beating the earning per share estimates, but still the point goes to Skyworks Solutions. That will bring its total to 6, and it's clearly leading the table at this stage. We also looked at the revenue beats, and here, instead of just looking at the earning per share, we were interested to see whether companies were capable of beating their estimated revenues. And as you can see, again, we are looking at the past 8 quarterly reporting, in other words the last 2 years. Skyworks Solutions and Nvidia both have been capable of doing this and beating their revenue estimates 6 times out of the 8 possible times, and AMD has been capable of doing this only on 4 occasions. So the point goes to Nvidia and Skyworks Solutions, 1 point each, bringing their total to 5 and 7 respectively. And there you have it, folks. According to the final score, as you can see here, Nvidia has 5 total points, AMD 3 total points, and Skyworks Solution gets 7 total points. And these are based on the criteria that I use to look at the growth potential of these companies based on their past performance and how I see their potential to grow in the future. So the crown on that basis goes to Skyworks Solution. Now, as I had promised you, I'm going to reveal which one of these stocks I actually own in my portfolio at this stage and how they have been performing so far. In fact, I have been owning 2 of the best performing among the 3 which I reviewed in this video so far. Nvidia and Skyworks Solution are the stocks that I currently have in my portfolio. My Nvidia stock has an average purchase price of 164 USD. That would mean currently it's grown to around 114%. And the Skyworks Solution positions that I've had have an average purchase price of 71 USD. And the reason why I'm saying average purchase price is because I've been purchasing them on various occasions. On average, they have a price of 71 USD. That would mean as of today, they've grown by 58%, which still is a very decent and reasonable performance in my view. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm interested to know which one of these stocks you currently own and which ones you think that would be a better buy into the future. Please like this video if you enjoyed that and subscribe to Moementum channel. As I said, I've done a lot of research in preparing this video, and your support would definitely encourage me to make more helpful videos in future.